What's up, it's GVKcollectibles, and it's that day again. You know what it is. It's Monday, of course, so it's Mythical Mountain Monday. The claim sale was the other day, and it's been a crazy weekend, let's just say that, with everything going on right now, so I'll just say that. So, I jumped in a little later than normal, so I didn't get, maybe as a lot of cool things, but I definitely did get, I think I got some cool stuff, so let's jump into that. But as always, usually when I go to Mythical Mountain, I always get other stuff too. It's just something that I do. And they had some good stuff, so let's jump into these real quick. So the first two things that I got was IG-11 from the Mandalorian Black Series figure, and the brand new Sabine Wren from the Black Series, from Rebels, of course, in the new packaging and everything. So I am actually going to be selling my older one on my Mercari shop. So if you guys are interested in a Sabine Wren figure, hopefully, I don't know, it's interesting just because it is going to be a newer figure. So, but yeah, this one looks a lot better than the original did, I will say. And I've never actually had a IG figure before, so I am very interested to see how the figure is comparative to the other Black Series figures. I've never had a droid figure, I think. Actually, no, I've had K2SO, but other than that, I've not had any of the droids. So yeah, those were the only two figures that I got today. So let's jump into the haul. So this is it. So once again, not as big as it was on the Spooktober episode or the early November episode. So let's just get started with the first book. It is Godzilla #1 from Dark Horse Comics from it doesn't say. So this is really cool. I actually have this comic before, but I think this is actually a better copy. And it looks really, really cool. It's a really, really cool. This is the first, I think it's one of the first, it's definitely one of the first post-Marvel Godzilla timeline, Godzilla books to be out, because this is when Dark Horse got the license. Dark Horse had the license to everything within the 90s and early 80s, which is crazy to me. And they mainly base it off the Heisei Godzilla, which is a really cool thing for me. I love the Heisei design. It's one of my personally favorite designs, if you can tell. Right there, you got Burning Godzilla, favorite design, along with Godzilla 2000 and what is it? Godzilla 24, the MonsterVerse Godzilla. Those are my top three designs, and those stay pretty solid. So yeah, there's Godzilla #1 from Dark Horse. The next one, it's another Godzilla title, of course, and I couldn't pass it up. It's Godzilla 2, Issue 2 from Dark Horse Comics. Now, I don't know, because I think they had multiple different series going on at the time, but this one looks like it has Mechagodzilla. I don't think that's Mechagodzilla, because I don't think, the interesting thing with the Dark Horse runs, I don't think, I feel like it wasn't until, the IDW runs, they actually had the wider selection of, kaijus, like Mothra, Rodan, all the classics, Anguirus, Destroya, Jet Jaguar. It wasn't until IDW came in and started doing comics that they had a greater pantheon. So I don't think that's Mechagodzilla, but I will let me actually open it, because I don't want to lie to you folks. This guy in front is called Cybersaurus, so he must have been a Mechagodzilla, because they couldn't get the rights, because Toho, of what they do for their monsters, each one you have to you can't get them bundled in rights, apparently, so you have to buy them individually. So it's the worst form of DLC, but you know what, I'm not gonna complain about it. So let's jump into the next one. This one is pretty freaking cool. It is Clive Barker's Pinhead #1. It's a really, really cool cover. It's kind of peak, I guess, 90s, because you got this really, really good, cool, red, reflective chrome red on the cover. Then you got Pinhead, of course, and you also get Doug Bradley in the corner too of the comic, which it kind of harkens back to the 60s comics of where you would see the heads of who was involved in the story. First pain-packed issue. So this is really, really cool art. It's really grungy looking. That art style, for horror kind of stuff, is this kind of really grungy looking kind of art style, which looks pretty cool. So I'll take a peep in that. And the book looks like it's in great condition too, which is awesome. So, yeah. So, next one is the Batman from the New 52, and this is around the time when Dark Knight Rises was coming out, so that's crazy to think. It is Batman. It's issue 11, the epic final conflict, the epic finale of the Court of Owls. So this is the end of the Court of Owls storyline that ran through the New 52 from Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. The art looks, I don't know if this is I think this may be a variant, because if this is or it could be the main cover. Because I think if it was a variant, it wouldn't have the Dark Knight Rises on it. But, no, it's a main title. It's Capullo. That's awesome. I love Capullo. He draws a mean Batman. His Spawn stuff is awesome too. So yeah, that's really, really cool. I really dig that. So this next comic was pretty funny, and I had to get it just because it's just so wacky, in my opinion. And even Tony and Steve were like, "What the heck?" It is Samurai Funnies featuring the Texas Chainsaw Samurai. So it's a literal samurai wielding it's like Leatherface, Japanese Leatherface wielding a chainsaw. It's so crazy and wild. So it's just I'm interested to see what this is. I think this is mainly a kind of jokey comic book, of course, but this looked the most terrifyingly funny comic ever made. So yeah, it's very much more of a comedy one, but God, it looks fun. It looks funny. That's pretty funny. You'll see closer pictures of all these, of course, on Instagram, of course. I didn't do everything from last episode because there's so much, and it's I really don't want to post all those pictures on Instagram, so yeah. But yeah, Texas Chainsaw Samurai, that's pretty, it looks fun. It looks fun. So the next few I want to get into are going to be primarily Dark Horse AVP comics, which is really, really cool. So, because even though Godzilla is my bread and butter, I love Godzilla so much, I love the Godzilla comics, and those are the ones that I look for constantly. Comics that actually got me into comics was the Dark Horse Alien versus Predator run, that original run. So it's always had a great place in my heart. So whenever Dark Horse put out a AVP book, or actually they got me, along with Godzilla, they got me back into comics with the Fire and Stone series. But this one is really cool. I have no idea about this. I know Comic Pop did a back issues on this story, but it's the only first issue, so I can't necessarily read it all the way. It is Superman and Batman versus Alien and Predator, which is really weird because it's just what? Because both Batman notably had his story, Batman versus Predator, which is an awesome story. Also Superman, and also Batman Aliens, which is great too. I haven't read any of the Superman. I know Superman had a crossover with Alien, which I only know about. Well, I know about it because of my interest in the Dark Horse Alien versus Predator comics and Alien and Predator just in general. But also NECA did along with the Batman versus Predator set, they did a Alien versus Superman set too. But man, it looks cool. The art looks really, really fantastic on the cover, I think. I'm very excited. I don't know if and this is weird because it actually is a newer DC logo. It's a relatively newer DC logo, the one that I enjoy the most. So this came out maybe early 2000s, maybe early to mid 2000s. So that's crazy to me. I will be right back, guys, because that camera is about to cut off again. But I'll be right back. We're back. So keeping the Dark Horse Alien and Predator comic going, mainly the Alien right now. We got Alien 3, 1 and 2. Now I believe this is a adaptation of the movie, and it isn't. It has nothing to do with the William Gibson script that recently came out. I think it was last year it came out, which was really, really cool. That could have been a better Alien 3 in my opinion. But we only got issue 1 and 2, missing 3, so I'll be probably on the lookout for those issues anyway. So Really cool art. I really love it. It's like kind of like this really kind of. It reminds me of Hellblazer. I say that a lot, but it just has. I know what it is. It's that point of 90s art that I really like. It's dark and grungy kind of looking. Like especially this. Like that looks incredible, and it's creepy. It's creepy. It's cool. I just love art. Like, I love this type of art for comics. We don't really see it too often, but I think it was just chalked up due to the 90s of, like, that time period. And even the 80s. 80s had this kind of art style, too. So, the next series that this next two that I have is really, really important to me, because I have the omnibus of this specific story that comes with other stories, but, as I said before, Alien vs. Predator, that initial omnibus from Dark Horse Comics, this got me into comic books, which is, like, a lot to say, and it is the complete first run of Alien vs. Predator from Dark Horse Comics, and this storyline completely got me into, like, it sold, I think there was sold me on comics and Dark Horse in general. Some of the art, like, it introduces a lot of cool characters. It has Broken Tusk. It has Machiko, who is, like, a really, really cool character. And just, it's just, for me, this is the quintessential, like, comic for AVP. It's one of the best ones, I think. I mean, I think the Fire and Stone series and, like, Life and Death are both great. I'm kind of sad that we're not going to get, because at the end of Life and Death, there's kind of an allusion to doing another book, which is sad, because I really, really want to see that story continue, but I don't think it's going to continue just because of Marvel going, AVP, Alien and Predator going to Marvel. But that is cool. Like, that is my favorite cover, along, I think, with the first issue. Like, the first issue, these two have really, really incredible art. I'm very happy to have this series, like, in the floppies, just because it had a big influence on me as a comic reader, getting into comics. So yeah, I will forever love this series. So next few, I think I have two more comics, and then we're going to end it off with two magazines that I got, actually, which is very unusual. So the first one, this is freaking cool. It is back in the 90s, Marvel and DC actually had a working relationship, and they did several crossovers, like Batman and Spider-Man's, Batman Daredevil, Batman Punisher, weirdly enough, and I think there was a teammate, but it was like way back. It was in the 60s, I think 60s or 70s. It was Spider-Man, Superman. But this is cool. They also did a thing called the Amalgam Universe, of where they basically took two characters from the different universes and combined them together to make a character. And this is Darkclaw, aka it is the combination between Batman and Wolverine. It's very 90s, but it's at the same time, it's kind of dope. Like, it's kind of cool. I really love it. It's like, and is known as Logan Wayne, of course. There's some other crazy ones. I think there's like Superboy and Spider-Man, like Arachnid Boy or something. There's a combination between Superman and Captain America, which, like, makes sense. But yeah, this is kind of crazy. And I mean, it's like, it's inherently 90s, but it looks awesome at the same time. I've actually never read the story, so I am interested to, I may gander at it, but I knew I just had to have this because it's a cool looking drawing. Like, he's a cool looking drawing, Darkclaw. So yeah. For the last comic book of the day, or from Mythical Mountain Monday, it is this really, really cool old one from 1989, which is incredible. It is Justice League America, and it is a Exorcist like tribute cover, which is crazy to think, because for me it wasn't until like recently that they start to do like these cool covers. Like DC Deceased has a lot of cool covers to do with like horror movies, but this is really, really cool. I just love it. I love The Exorcist, and it's such a cool, like, I haven't seen it in a long time. I saw it with my mom on AMC for the first time and we watched it together. It's like a genuinely creepy movie, and it's also like really, really great. It's a great film. So yeah, I knew I definitely had to have this. It is a really, really cool cover, and I will love it forever. Forever. So, to end the day off with Mythical Mountain Monday, I got 2 magazines. And the magazines, so last week we had a bunch of eerie and creepy magazines, which are really more, they're horror comics, kind of in the vein of EC horror comics, and even when Marvel and DC had their own horror comics and stuff. But these, I think it is probably like a magazine that I've known about for years, but I've never like subscribed to. I follow them deeply on social media because they've luckily have adapted to like social media and everything. But it is one of my favorite like magazines I've never read before or never subscribed to as a kid, but it was always like there's something so alluring about it. It is Fangoria. Everything to get with horror, and I just love this cover, the bloody best. It has Alice Cooper and Jason from Jason Lives, which is one of my favorite designs. And then it's like you have like it's cool because these magazines are a really cool snapshot into time of what you were dealing with. It's like all new interviews, Alice Cooper, James Cameron, Kenny Top Aliens, Vincent Price, Stuart Gordon, Sam Raimi, The Year in Fear, Stephen King, Tom Savini, Robert Englund, Clive Barker, Linda Blair, Christy Swanson, Christopher Lee, Movie Massacre, Nightmare on Elm Street, The Fly, The Exorcist, Psycho, From Beyond, Rawhead Rex, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. It's just so many incredible like fun movies. I would say like Rawhead Rex is kind of like but like every other one of those films is great. But yeah, it's super cool. Like I love Fangorias just because it is for me it's a time to go, like especially ones during the 80s. It's just a time capsule for me as a horror fan, and it's really cool to see. Like with the Cinema Flex magazine showing off Return of the Living Dead, it's just super cool to see when that stuff was new in the know back then, and now we don't really get that now. So with the last issue, of course, it's another Fangoria, but it is the 100th Terrifying Special, and it has Freddy's glove on it, and it just looks cool. Like, it has all new exclusive interviews, a lot of great people, Clive Barker, once again, Stephen King, Robert Englund, Vincent Price, John Carpenter, Wes Craven, Sam Raimi, David Cronenberg, Tobe Hooper, James Cameron, Tom Savini, and the man, Peter Cushing. Even though all those dudes are the dudes, like, they're the guys, like, all those dudes are awesome. This is really, really cool. I can't wait to crack open it and see and to read it. So yeah. So with that being said, that's Mythical Mountain Monday for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to hit subscribe and hit that little bell notification so we can get notified when Mythical Mountain Mondays, of course, What's in the Box Wednesdays, figure reviews, and I think that's it of what we're doing right now. We do like once in a while specials, like our Halloween special, which we had a lot of fun with. Hope to do one of those again someday, maybe for Christmas, maybe, who knows. I'll talk to him. I'll talk to my brother, see what he thinks. But yeah, also make sure to check us out on our Mercari shops. I've been actually putting up more kind of action figures that I'm trying to get rid of. A majority of the ones that, like the cool ones that I put up, have gotten sold already, which is like crazy. So it's definitely, I'm going to be putting up more action figures. They'll be all loose, of course. I'm an out-of-box collector. So, yeah. And also check out Jack's Pop Guy, too, on his Mercari shop. Lots of good Funko Pops. Like, he gets really, really cool ones constantly. And also make sure to follow us on Instagram, of course. You'll get to see closer photos of everything seen here on Instagram. And follow Jack's Pop Guy, of course, on Instagram. And also, one last thing, give us a like and make sure... because we really appreciate it. We honestly appreciate it, guys. We love doing this. Like, we have a fun time making videos like this. So, with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.